Hello everybody, my name is Kikaya. Welcome to Weeb Review, the show where I review your favorite anime. So BNA finished up. I wasn't expecting Netflix to just dump the last 6 episodes on us like that. By the time I realized episode 7 came out, they were already on episode 11. I can see what Netflix is trying to do here, but they need to understand that anime was differently than Western shows. Anime fans get almost 30 new shows a season, and it's tough to keep up with already. Doing this drop 6 episodes, then stop for 3 months thing isn't helping. But anyway, Brand New Animal Crossing is an original anime produced by Studio Trigger. I don't have a lot of history with Trigger. In fact, the only show I saw by them was Kill La Kill. Just from that though, I can get a basic understanding of what Trigger is, but it's a studio I'm not too familiar with. Same goes with the director Yoshinari Yu, who created Little Witch Academy. But I do know he made some key animations for Kizo Monogatari, which had me looking like the Edge Pogger's face when I found that out. I would say that BNA is a pretty good show. It has amazing art, a plot that's easy to follow, fun characters, and a freaking amazing soundtrack. So with basic backgrounds and my overall opinion out the way, I guess I have one question for you.
Yo, Sydney, what's that? It's my fucking jam!
We start off with our main girl Michiru. She's a tanuki who ran away from home in search of Anima City, which is a town that is populated by beast people only. She gets there during a festival and everything is cool until a bomb goes off. And she meets a grey wolf named Shiro who fights the bad people who planted the bomb. Michiru joins up with him. Now we find out that Michiru is actually a human who turned into a beastman along with her friend Nazuna. She came to Anima City to see if there was a way for her to turn back into a human, as well as to find her friend Nazuna, who's supposedly in the city. We'll get into her in a bit, but for now, let's talk about the Beastmen. So they have a lot of traits to them. I can appreciate that at least. So they can switch from beastmen form to human form pretty easily. Even though they are born beastmen, they can still have the form of a human. Since beastmen are usually born beastmen, having Michiru who turned into one is something unheard of. Also, something that comes up later on that is very important is that beastmen are heavily influenced by emotions. This leads to the introduction of the Novasil syndrome, Novasil. I'm just gonna call it the N syndrome, which turns beastmen into monsters when they get too stressed. This will be important to the main conflict. For now though, just remember that syndrome. So first up is Michiru. I was up and down with her, honestly. While I can appreciate someone who always tries to help her friends, and she does have a cute design, oh god, I can already hear the people calling me a furry. Her character doesn't really grow. Even when her best friend tells her straight up, hey, you meddle in people's business way too much, she still meddles in her business. Like, what the hell, Michiru? You know this is why you guys had a falling out, right? It all worked out in the end, but still. Either way, she gets lucky, or she uses her weird powers of being able to pretty much do anything any beastman can do. She can run like a cheetah, she can grow wings, she can fly, she can go gum fruit and stretch her arms out. Yeah, she's a weird specimen. Despite her issues, she's an entertaining main character. Even if her actions can lead to unfortunate consequences, she still does what she believes is right, and I can respect that. Up next is Shiro. Shiro is a wolf who hates humans and protects beastmen. He will go out of his way to kill anyone, human or beastman, who disturbs the daily life of beastmen. He kills them in pretty brutal fashion too, might I add. He does change over time with Michiru being a human, but for most of the show he will continuously attack or belittle humans. It's important to note this dude also has a power. He's immortal, which leads to a plot twist later on in the show. I say plot twist, but it's not that hard to figure out. I guess it's time to talk about Nazuna. Nazuna, like I said before, is Michiru's best friend from childhood. Her character is actually really good, I think. Despite being in the show for not a long time, she does get a bit bit of character progression. She starts off as a positive girl who has dreams of becoming an idol. Once she turns into a beastman though, she joins up with a cult called the Silver Wolf Order, which praises the beastman god Ginro-sama. Turns out the cult is manipulating people into believing Nazuna is Ginro-sama. With this newly found fame and power, she begins to change. She has a falling out with Michiru when she tries to get Nazuna out of the cult, and bad things happen from there. She's the main cause for the climax of the anime, but she turns back into a good person and is loved by humans and beastmen at the end. But there's just one question. Who's the main bad guy? Who planned all of this? Well, I'll tell you. His name is Alan. Dang, that's one of the least scariest names out there. So Alan is the main bad guy. He appears as a good guy at the start, but we slowly learn what his intentions are. His big plot twist at the end was something I actually wasn't expecting, and it was the first time in this show I was surprised. He wants to be the most powerful being, so his plan is to pretend that he's making a cure for Michiru, but he's actually making a medicine that'll turn beastmen into humans. Despite this, I don't think he's that bad. He actually makes some good points to Shiro. Mind you, this is an issue for the whole series, which I'll get to later, but I feel like his transition to a bad guy just seems to be way too quick, and the execution of it wasn't as good as I was expecting. There are a few other characters as well, such as Nina, the male Barbara, Melissa and Gen, the Bears baseball team, and Mary the Weasel. Sorry, Mary the Mink, but they don't provide much to the story, and honestly talking about all of them would kill me, so we're just gonna move on. Here's what I think is the best part of BNA. Something I remember loving about Kill la Kill was the use of colors for backgrounds and the characters. It really made the show pop in a goofy but fun way, which fitted perfectly with the tone of the show. BNA took this and multiplied it by about 20, but that's not a bad thing though, since this style is really unique and the animation fits the art style almost to a T. One of my favorite moments would be during one of the darker episodes. The world loses its color completely and it becomes gray. And then the ending hits you with a grayscale version instead of the normal, usually more colorful version, and that's just amazing. Oh, you knew this was coming. Now let's begin this section with talking about the OP. When I first heard it, I instantly fell in love, which isn't that rare for me. But there was something about this track that just hit me more than most other OPs. In fact, I feel like the only OP that I felt more energized and excited during would be Attack on Titan. That chant at the beginning, it's so goddamn catchy. And then when the verses come in, you just feel this rush of adrenaline, like you're a beastman running away from humans. And y'all can call me biased because the closest video I've had to a viral video just happened to be a meme video with this OP, but I wouldn't have made that video if I didn't love the OP. And let's talk about that ending. While it took me a little bit for me to enjoy this song, it has the complete opposite effect than the OP. It has the chillest of vibes. What helps is that Michiru and Nazuna actually have a bond with this song. It's like their favorite song. Even during Nazuna's big idol concert, she performed a remix of this song. And while I can't say anything for the background songs, they didn't distract me from the scenes, so that must be a good thing, right? Now this isn't a pro or con, it's just a thing I wanted to talk about, and since I'm in the middle on this, I decided to put it here. BNA is predictable. I was surprised once. Now this isn't a bad thing, because I'd rather have a story be painfully predictable than be a show that was so unpredictable that the ending was unsatisfying. Hello, Babylon! BNA has an issue where the characters are cliches and the story is easy to guess, which means pretty much everything you can imagine will happen does happen. And it can lead to a story that was just meh. Again, this isn't an issue for everyone, but it's an issue for some. I just thought I'd say that for the people who care about story and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't really. I still had fun with the story, but that's just a little heads up for the people who care about that sort of thing. Let's get one thing out the way. BNA should have had more episodes. 12 episodes was not nearly enough to fit all the information needed here. I don't like saying that an anime should have gotten more episodes because we never know when a movie or another season will come. But considering that this show had to really try to squeeze everything they could into the final few episodes, should really tell you that more episodes were needed. The last few episodes were moving at initial D pace, and this last scene was just funny as hell to me. Not only did the story suffer, but so did the characters. I mean, really, minus all the backstory scenes with Nazuna, what do we really know about Michiru? We barely even heard about her mom, which was mentioned in the backstory, then never talked about again. We don't even know much backstory with Nazuna besides the fact she wanted to be an idol. Shiro's backstory really hurt though, since this seemed like such an interesting story about the history of the war between beastmen and humans, and they barely gave it an episode. I mean, how can we care about these characters if you aren't giving them the time to really flesh them out and make them mean something? I just feel like if this was 24 episodes, we not only would have gotten better characters, we'd probably have gotten more time for the plot twist and the story to really hit. In conclusion, BNA is a good show depending on your standards. If you want a fun show with good art and entertaining but not really fleshed out characters, then BNA is for you. But if you want a story that goes through a heartbreaking story, character arcs, and discrimination, then well, you're probably better off watching Beastars. Me personally, I had a fun time with BNA. Despite its issues, I found it entertaining, and I look at anime as entertainment, which is why I enjoy most of the anime I watch. I'm not a very picky person, and BNA was another show that to some may be seen as missed potential. To me, I saw as a fun watch. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm Kikaya, and I'll see y'all next time.